I just got back from watching the last episode of Sherlock Series 4, and I figured I'm just going to turn armchair critic for this video because I got to get this off my chest before I blow up. Because Sherlock Series 4 was crap. Let's start with episode 1. It's the first episode of Sherlock Series 4. Great, we're back to it. Gonna see Benedict Cumberbatch again and Martin Freeman, and they're gonna be reprising their characters, which we haven't seen for so long. It's gonna be so great. They're gonna be super sleuthing all over the place and solving crimes. No, what we got instead was the many adventures of Mary Watson and her sidekicks, Hat Boy and Husband. What were they thinking? Like, okay, when Mary Watson was first introduced in Series 3, she was a good character, you know, she was witty, she was smart, very intelligent, she could keep up with Sherlock and, you know, John, the other one, because, you know, sometimes you just need a woman's touch, a woman's intuition or something. That's what they call them in the books. When Conan Doyle was writing all, it was like, but you know what, sometimes women can spot things that us men can't. Don't know if that's sexist or not, just gonna leave it there. That's how Conan wrote the things back in the day. That's how he wrote it back then. And then they decided, guess what? Turns out Mary Watson, she's an international assassin she's a spy. What? Where did that come from? In the episode itself, great episode, cool reveal. It was like, oh my god, what is this? But can I buy it? No, it was just a bit out of left field. It didn't fit what was going on at all. It was just, it didn't make sense because you got Mycroft, who's this connection with the government, so some sort of secret spy stuff happens occasionally, but it wasn't too much. But then with episode 1 of Series 4, that's all it's going to be about now. It's just going to be spies and international assassins and... oh god, it just didn't make any sense. Why were they doing this? So apart from the many adventures of Mary Watson just taking up all our time completely and hogging the screen the entire time, nothing wrong with that, she's a great actress, but that's not what we watched Sherlock for. Apart from that, the pacing of that episode was just, what were they? That was wrong. I don't write for television, but I know that was a badly written episode. So it starts off and you get this plot device of a boy has died or gone missing or something or other, and he died in his car. 10 minutes, first case, solved, that's it. Rest episode, all you get is Mary Watson and her spying. Not what we watched Sherlock for. That's the biggest gripe I take away from the first episode. It just did too much Mary Watson. It was bad enough that, you know, they made her this super intelligent super spy, which is just hard enough to believe already. Like, guess what? She married John Watson. Yeah, in the book she was an intelligent woman. Like, she was smart, clever. They did her better, actually, I think, in the Robert Downey Jr. films. But anyway, so apart from the first episode focusing far too much on Mary Watson and not enough on what we came here to see in the first place, i.e. Sherlock Holmes and John Watson investigating crimes, the pacing was just completely off. I mean, I had forgotten how long Sherlock episodes are already. They're an hour and a half long. But, you know, even with an hour and a half long episode, you can sort of read where the pacing is going. But too many times it felt like it was building up to a climax that happened, and then it just kept going. It was like The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. You know, you just don't expect when's it going to end. Is this the end? No, it's still going. What? Why? That was clearly an ending. That was clearly written as an ending point. But no, just more stuff. More stuff. Here you go, it's more stuff. And it didn't connect properly. And then at the end of the episode, Mary dies. I guess that's why we were spending so much time with her, because we could make an emotional bond or whatever, but I didn't. When she died, I was just like, okay, she's dead now. In a way, I kind of feel like saying good riddance because that was crap. That's when you know you failed as a writer, when a main character, someone you're meant to care about, dies, and you don't feel a thing. I felt nothing. I was just like, thank God. You know, don't mind her as an actress or as a person or whatever, but the character was just taking up too much. Oh God, it was just awful. Just couldn't take it. It's like, oh my God, she's dead. Brilliant. Can we get on with what we came here to watch in the first place now, please? Then you get episode 2, where John Watson is just being murdered. Oh my God, my wife died. And I blame Sherlock Holmes, even though he didn't really do anything to, you know, it wasn't his fault, but I clearly blame him for it. Just forced problems that don't need to exist were happening. You know what, I barely remember episode 2, actually. I know it was the one with, what's his face? Toby Jones. I knew it was Toby something, I just couldn't get it off the tip of my tongue. Okay, he was in it. He was sort of murdering people, but you didn't know what. it's just too much of it is just. See, the thing is, I can't even remember it. I'm trying to remember it right now, and I just know that Mrs. Hudson had a car, and Toby Jones did a lot of laughing. Sherlock was in hospital at one point, and John was miserable. That was that episode. So again, that's another sign of bad writing. I could tell you exactly right now what the second episode of Sherlock Season 2 was, and that was The Hand of the Baskervilles, because that was a brilliant episode. The one after that was when you had the Reichenbach fall. First one was the plane, and I think it was Irene Adler. Yeah, brilliant episode. Those three, great. Sherlock Season 4, Episode 2. Some stuff happened. That's about all I can tell you. I suppose that's not really a good method of reviewing something if I can't even remember what was in it, but I think in itself that is a sign that it was a bad episode as well, because if it didn't stick in my head, it was just like, why? Oh, I remember something that is extra annoying. Mary Watson still wouldn't go away. She was dead, but she was still haunting the fucking programme the entire time, like, John Watson, I'm still here, you can see me, but no one else can't, aren't I amazing? I felt like saying, go away, woman. You're dead. No. Why? Why? Actually, episode 2 ended with revelation. Oh my god, there's a third Holmes sibling. Dun dun dun. Just like, just why? Why? Where did they? I'm going to Google it right now, if there ever was a one in the books. I've read as much of the books as I could. They're kind of hard to get through. There was that much. He wrote that much. I'm going to Google if Conan Doyle ever wrote that there was a Holmes sister. Yep, according to the amazing power of the internet, Sherlock Holmes and Mycroft Holmes never had a sister. So this is a complete fabrication by the writers. And before I get on to the rest of episode 3, this is something else I just want to point out. They have completely departed from what the book set out that Sherlock Holmes was going to be, and I think overall that's one of the biggest gripes I have with this. It wasn't, like I've said, they just ditched the super sleuthing, solving crimes, and it was all sort of spies and assassins and government, just weird black ops stuff going on. That's not Sherlock Holmes. Yes, we had, like I said earlier, a bit of Sherlock, like that sort of black ops spy stuff going on because Mycroft was always in the show. He was just the government. So yeah, we can accept that some of that was going on because he was there. But now you just brought in this entire new element that does not fit in the formula. And this series, I think they went completely away from that, going off the books and updating them to a modern setting. I mean, I'm sure that some books still sort of managed to worm their way into the writing for this current series, but I don't think so. Well, I mean, it's pretty fair to say, I think, that Conan Doyle never intended that Mary Watson be a spy. That I just don't. I think even he was, that was beyond his plausibility levels as well. Getting back to episode 3, it was good. It was better than the other 2 episodes combined in that it was, it was thrilling, it was special. Euros was cool, good villain, and you had Mike Moriarty back. There's too many people with M's in this program. Get confused. So Euros was a good villain. It was a good sort of just well-structured episode, better than the other ones. You could clearly see the acts going on there, what the story structure was. But then came the ending, and even in this episode we still can't get away from Mary Watson. Because at the end of the episode she sends another DVD. It's like, hey, I miss you, and I'm still Mary Watson, and guess who you are? You boys, don't forget, you're Sherlock Holmes and you're John Watson. Like they needed reminding! So what was the point? What was the point of that last DVD? Here's another question. Who the hell's sending these DVDs? Because she's clearly dead. Who's sending them? That's just good. Dunno. God. And also the word is that this is the last episode ever, presumably, of Sherlock. If that's the case, then they are leaving it in a very bad place. I think a lot of damage has been done with this episode of Sherlock. I feel like I need to go back to the old episodes now and sort of refresh my memory on how things used to be. Like, sort of like an old level, like, oh, things used to be so much better back then. I just don't understand why they felt it was necessary, A, to make Mary Watson a spy, B, to deviate so far from the books in Series 3, B point... Where's my phone? Siri, why are you talking to me? I didn't...
Do you want me to read you the rest?
No. No, Siri, no. Go away.
I found some selections.
Stop talking!
La La.
Shut up. What would I have done differently? First, like I was saying, A, don't make Mary Watson a spy. That's where things first started going wrong. I mean, yes, they sort of got away with it because it was still a good episode when it was revealed. But then they shouldn't have carried it on so strongly in series 4. B, stop. Just, the books are there for a reason. That was the whole point of this series. This entire thing was just take Sherlock Holmes and do it modern. Brilliant. And it's been great. Up until now, and I thought, we don't need the books anymore. Nobody read them anyway. We can just do what we want and get away with it. No. No. I've ranted long enough. I'm going to put a final word on here. Series 4 was crap for the reasons that I've read back on this, but like if it was too long and didn't read, it would be this. Deviated too far from books. Mary Watson took over the show, no longer Sherlock, just the adventures of Mary Watson. Too much spy stuff, not enough sleuthing. There you go. That's why it was crap. God, I need to practice this reviewing crap. I don't think I should review in a sort of ranty mood, but at the same time it feels quite cathartic to get it out there. So thanks for putting up with my rantings and ravings. Let me know what you thought of Sherlock Series 4. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I'd like to hear what you have to say and we can argue about it relentlessly in the comments. Also, leave a like, just for the hell of it, because I want them, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until the next time, hope you have a nice time doing whatever it is you're doing. Cheerio.